Something that I wanted to talk about today was chickens over rabbits and rabbits over chickens. So something, hey Kenji, we're going to do some rounds here and breed some rabbits. Something that I get asked a lot is, what do we prefer since we raise both? Rabbits, 100% rabbits, and this is why. One is they are cleaner. Hey, Guinness. We don't have to worry about salmonella. That's our buck here. He's going to get some action. He's having some lawn time right now. They are cleaner. We don't have to worry about salmonella and other contaminants. Our kids can go out and pet the rabbits, handle the rabbits. We don't have to worry about it. The other thing is no brooder stage. So I decided to love myself this year and not raise chickens because the brooder stage literally drives me crazy. Meat rabbits, all rabbits, will breed quite easily, very productive. We average 8 to 11 per litter. 11 would be our biggest litter. 7's, I think 6 or 7's our smallest litter. We have some rabbits due today, actually, by this mama. She doesn't want to focus on her. She's being kind of from behind Bub. So this is my daughter's rabbit, my 6-year-old's rabbit. This is Cindy Hopper, and she's in labor right now. She's pulled a bunch of fur back there. So no brooder stage. When these rabbits have their babies, they will hide them back in their nest box in the fur, and they will take care of them exclusively for the first 6 weeks. So the biggest thing is you will lose kits. It's just part of raising rabbits. Sometimes you lose an entire litter, and that totally sucks. It's very normal to lose 1 or 2 in the wintertime because they latch on when mama's nursing them. And then the does tend to hop out of the nest box really quickly, and they'll drag them out. If they drag them out, they can't put them back in. So sometimes, like this one here, she'll try to cover them up and keep them warm, and she'll end up smushing them before I can even find them. If I can find them and they're just frozen and cold, then oftentimes I can bring them back and then just place them back in the nest. But if, you know, it happens earlier in the night, then we don't usually find them. So dead kits are a part of it, but in our experience, we get a lot less dead kits than we get dead chicks. So Cornish cross is what we raise when we raise meat chickens, and they are really creative when it comes to finding ways to die. So we lose a lot more of those. The other thing is these are egg layers here. The brooder stage is expensive for chickens. You need electricity, you need heat lights, you need special feeders, special little waters, or they'll drown themselves. And they eat a ridiculous amount of pellets. Crap ton of pellets. And they waste a bunch because they like to dig in them and scratch in them and poop in them. And so anyway, you don't have that with the rabbits. The first 6 weeks is pretty much free. They do start to eat a little bit of pellets around 4 weeks. But nothing substantial. So these babies here, these guys are they're 5 weeks old. They'll be 6 weeks old on Saturday. So they're eating pellets at this stage. They don't eat a lot. They eat probably maybe a 1/4 cup of pellets each, if even, per day. So in another 2 weeks, we are going to take these out. We take them out at 7 weeks. We're going to rebreed the does once we take the kits out. I try to give them at least 7 weeks from the time they deliver. And these guys are going to go out into the grow out tractor. Once they're in the grow out tractor, that's that little tractor that Guinness was hanging out in, the buck. Once they go into the grow out tractor, we give them unlimited pellets, but they don't tend to eat very much because they're way more interested in the grass. So, I'm visiting the buns. So, anyway, they're way more interested in grass, so they're going to mostly eat grass. If you keep them in a tractor, make sure that they're on level ground. If they can see light underneath the tractor, they try to dig out because they realize they can get out. If it's level, that's not going to happen. Also, if they run out of grass, they're going to dig out. So just move them. If you've got 6 or 8 or an entire litter in a tractor, you're probably going to need to move it twice a day to fresh ground. If you just have 1 or 2 rabbits in there, then you'll be able to go a whole day. But anyway, so then also with our open bottom cages for the hutches, there's some fur hanging down below. All the waste just drops down here, and then I just scoop it up. Chicken compost needs to be stacked and aged. So when we sift through our chicken compost, we have to pile it and then cover it and hot compost it for about 9 months just to get all the bacteria and contaminants out of it and for it to break down. Rabbit compost isn't hot at all like chicken compost is. And so you can just take this stuff, shavings and all. The shavings are actually good for your soil. So anyway, you can take all this stuff and just put it right on your garden. The rain just melts it in. You're not going to have, you know, they don't carry salmonella or anything like that. So you can just put it directly on your garden, which I like. I like the no nonsense, no fuss method with that. So you get really good compost from them. I've heard a lot of people say, well, you don't get compost. Yeah, you do. And it's seriously garden gold. These guys, let's see, these guys are 5 weeks old also. They were born the same day. Hey guys. Mom's back here hiding from them, but they found her. They try to get away from the kids because they just hop all over them and drive them crazy. So around 7 weeks, the does are really ready for these guys to get out of their hutches. But, so you get the good compost, and then the other thing that I like with rabbits over chickens is you don't have as much waste. I hate plucking chickens. For one, it's a lot of work. It's super messy. I don't have a chicken plucker because we don't do a huge scale of meat chickens. We'll do, you know, maybe 50 a year, and I can pluck and feather 50 chickens in a day. It takes all day, but it's possible, and I don't want to invest in something like a chicken plucker when I'm only doing 50 a year. With the rabbits, if you watch the processing video, you just cut the skin and pull down like a giant meat banana. And that is so fast. I can do probably 3 rabbits in the time that it takes me to do 1 chicken just because of the feathers. And then the inside, cleaning out a chicken is much grosser too because you got to dig your hand in there and scrape around, and it's just disgusting. And then you have to worry about, you know, do my birds have salmonella? And it's really hard to know if they do. It depends on the hatchery that you get them from. With the rabbits, you don't really have to worry about that. I wear gloves usually, but not always with rabbits. With the chickens, I'm like in these giant rubber gloves, and I shower twice, and it just grosses me out. So, yeah, rabbits are cleaner, much quicker, easier to raise, and they're also sustainable because they breed so easily. You don't have to buy chicks. Now, if you're raising Cornish, you pretty much always have to buy chicks because Cornish just, ooh, it's raining. Cornish aren't very, they like to die at about 10 or 12 weeks, so it's difficult to breed your own chickens unless you're doing a heritage breed and you have roosters, and not everyone's allowed to have roosters. So, I mean, that's another thing. It's that you're not buying any chicks, and you're able to just sustain your production by breeding your own. Ooh, I'm going inside. Weather is nasty. So that's kind of my my short and sweet explanation as to why we prefer rabbits to chickens.